Former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker joins me now. Chris, are you shocked by the statements of the mayor and AOC and others? I thought these statements were flat out inflammatory. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, therein lies the problem. They are, the way they talk, the irresponsible manner in which they're addressing the general public and their the people of Minneapolis and around the country is resist, get in the way. The ICE doesn't belong there. It's their political opinion that the president should not be enforcing our immigration laws. Therefore, anything they do on the ground in any particular state is illegal, or they just don't want it. And that's the unfortunate political backdrop to this. Nobody should be drawing conclusions on the actual, whether the shooting itself was justified, except the investigators on the ground who are gathering the facts. All these political opinions that are coming from both directions are not helpful.
Will ICE back off at all on any of these raids anywhere in the country? Is there any backing away because of the Minneapolis shooting?
I doubt that. I think this administration is committed to the policies that basically they were elected on, and that is enforcement of U.S. immigration laws, using proactive enforcement operations primarily by ICE and DHS agencies, often without the help of local police, which is a problem. When you don't get the cooperation of local police, this is basically what happens. But I wonder how the public would view this if someone was interfering with a marked patrol car with a Minneapolis police officer in it, and they stop and they block that patrol car and prevent them from doing their duties. I just wonder how they would look at that.
That's a fair question, Chris. Fair question. Here's one for you. Let's transfer this to the Minnesota fraud situation. Congressman Tom Emmer, he's from Minnesota. He says Tim Walz could end up in cuffs, as in handcuffs, over the state's fraud scandal. Do you think that any high-level official or politician is going to jail over this?
Well, I think it remains to be seen, but I do think that Tim Walz's, that malfeasance, that fraud machine in Minneapolis has drawn so much attention, and it's drawing so many resources to Minneapolis, from inspector generals to the FBI to the IRS, all teaming up to go in there and just tear that place apart and look at everything. I think that could lead to some politicians. I saw a conversation on one of the networks with Ellison meeting with a donor and talking about giving him, it sounded like a quid pro quo for me. It was like, give us money and we'll watch your back. And that was a Somali individual who owns some of these businesses. So there may be some smoking gun conversations and emails or texts, and those things you just can't get rid of. So it'll be interesting to see. Tim Walz's greatest accomplishment may be that the FBI and other agencies come in and clean this up.
Yeah, that could be the case. Chris Swecker, thanks very much for joining us. I know we'll see you again soon. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.